What's up, pals and gals of the YouTube world? What's up, pals and gals of the YouTube world? It's your boy, the Ep.29, and I would very much like to welcome you back. Yes, back to another riveting segment of Figure Friday. Oh, you know, that special time of the week when you and I spend and talk about all things figure, Funko, and merchandise related of all kinds whatsoever. And of course, that includes memorabilia. And of course, we'll get into that each and every piece that is brought to this channel and that, of course, joins the team. However, before the holiest moment, please, if you haven't already, do your boy a favor and go get something to eat, or if you want to just grab a snack or two to help yourself relax. As you know, we here at the Wolfpack, we want to make sure everyone's taken care of. We look out for each other, and I do know the time is right here, but I can also see that it's going to be posted down here. I'm trying to break that habit, but as you can see, it's not really working out that well. But it's okay. So please, help yourself, and we'll be here waiting as we get started at the 3-minute marker. So please, do indulge yourselves, and no need to worry about me. I've already eaten, and I've got something to drink here to help me out. Oh, good. But a little motivation for you guys. I know that a lot of people, and I mean this wholeheartedly, a lot of people are actually losing their minds around this whole quarantine thing, mainly because it's due to the whole mask ordeal. And I understand, the whole some people not wanting to wear the mask, other people wanting to wear the mask because it's safety, but it's to help everybody out. Okay, everybody needs to do their part on this whole how can I put the whole pandemic that we're facing. So please, just wear your mask. Just wear it for a few minutes, honestly, and just get it what you need to get done, and then just get out to where you need to go, and then you can take the mask off. Come on now. Oh boy, let me have my opener here. Yes, I do. Just massages. Okay. Perfect. I look forward to it. Oh, pick up this. I'll need that. Okie dokie. Oh boy. Also, I do hope that you guys are handling this quarantine well. And for those of you guys who are working out in it, I do hope that you're making the bread and bringing home the bacon. For a stretch. Oh, yeah. And I know you see him. I know you see Johnny back there. He's just chilling. Hey, behave. Stop showing off the abs. Understand? Some people. Oh, but anyways, as you can see, we go ahead and hit the 3-minute marker. So why don't we just go ahead and get started, huh? I do hope that you guys are having a great day. I hope that you're relaxing. I hope you have your feet kicked up. I hope you breathe a big breath of relief, and I hope you're relaxing now, because tonight's episode is going to be pretty exciting. I ain't gonna lie. We're going to be introducing a new figure and a new Funko into the Wolfpack family tonight, and I do hope that you guys will join me in welcoming them both to the team. And don't worry, I've spoken to both of them. They don't wish to cause any harm, other than to be, showing off for you guys, and of course they're going to model as best as possible. But yeah. So for today's review, or today's figure review, I thought that we could take a trip back into the worlds of DC, but also we're going to take a trip into my childhood. Now, the reason I say that is because we're going to be talking about a show which helped to, kind of help me discover what it was all about, what made it so special, and the fact that it really stuck out more like, yes, it's true. I could talk about it all day, and don't get me wrong, I'm going to gush about it all day, but however, one of the specific characters is who we're going to be introducing tonight, so please help me welcome both of them, huh? But anyways, let me just position the first. And of course, there's going to be kind of a small special announcement towards the end of the stream, so please look forward to that. Let me get one more swig just before we start, folks. Oh boy. Okay, so first up, I thought we could go ahead and escape into the world of DC as of today, we were going to be introducing one of the many sort of well-known faces in the DC comic book world. Of course, he's a vigilante, but I mean, that's pretty much what blazed the trail for the DC Comics world. Vigilantes, because some of them, they live by their own set of rules. They live by their own like moral code, if you will, and they figure as though they're above the law. Now, it is true that one in particular does live above kind of the law, but at the same time, he's right there with the law because mostly people know who he is, the symbol he stands for, but we're not talking about that specific person tonight. No, we're not going to be talking about Batman. Sorry. He is going to be mentioned, however, because he was sort of a mentor, if you will, to the character we're going to be introducing tonight. But, this particular individual's first appearance was actually in the Batman, I believe it was 1999. It was the sword of this character. Now, what sets this guy apart from a lot of the other vigilantes is his backstory and his origin, his upbringing, if you will. And we're going to get into that right now. We're going to go ahead and bring him up, and I do hope that you guys help me. Now, we're going to run back to what I said just real quick. As I said, this character's intro was in the Batman and the Sword of this character who goes by the alias Jean Paul Valley, but he did have another alias name. That other alias's name was the Angel of Death, Azrael. That's right, folks. I'm just taken with this figure, mainly because due to the fact that his costume was pretty spot on, especially due to the fact that they got the details right down to his flaming sword, because that is one of the many weapons that he uses to, do his thing. But we're going to get into his story, and I'll tell you all about him. I'll tell you guys everything that I've learned about him. Okay, so why don't we just go ahead and get open Mr. Azrael here. Make sure I don't cut myself, heck, or even cut myself with his blade. Because I'm gonna open it up. Don't cut me now. Just gonna help. Okay, cool. Easy now. And this is the McFarlane figure, of course, another glorious figure that I have swiped. And of course, like every figure that I did get from McFarlane that is DC Worlds related, they come with, of course, a collectible trading card, which of course I'm happy to have in my pack. And of course a stand, but I don't know if I'm going to need him because his feet look pretty stout, I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, I'll show you guys the card first. Come on. There we go. Badass. Okie dokie. Like I said, I love the flaming sword. Really, it's amazing. It's one of his more well-known type weapons because he does have an arsenal, but I'm going to tell you guys more about him as much as I can. Okay, why don't we just get him... Oh, wait a minute. The sword is being held down. It is a mighty weapon, and I must release it. Oh, wait a minute. Easy. Yes, of course, the sword is the mighty weapon of Azrael. But judging from just the sheer size and the make of this blade is just astounding. There we go. And I love the fact that they included the flames on the blade itself. This looks amazing. Right down to the color. Of course, this, I'm going to say is an Impaler or Vlad the Impaler type weapon, type blade here. Of course, a two-handed weapon, but for this guy's strength, I'm sure he can handle it with just one hand. But now on to the main event. That's the man of the hour. You being held down, my friend? No? We're going to bust out. I do apologize for the noise, folks. I do apologize for the noise. Oh, yeah, he is being held down. Oh, wonderful. Break on out of there, Azrael. Break out of your bombs. No? You don't want to break out your bombs? Oh, my goodness. I'm trying not to cut myself or anything that's attached to him, folks. Dang. I really hate when they do this part, really. Break out of your bombs, Azrael. Thank you. Thank you very much. I do apologize for the noise, folks. Really, it's just ugh. Okay, here he is. I love these little tassel type deals, if you will. Just, blowing in the breeze, Sorry. Here he sorry. Here he is, folks. Azrael. There we go. Now, as I said, some history about this guy is the fact that he is actually the one-time successor of Batman. Now that is only because his alias being Jean-Paul Valley, who was actually in the beginning just a simple computer science student until actually a revelation, if you will, and of course that was given to him by his father on his deathbed. And it was actually revealed that Mr. Jean-Paul Valley here was actually a descendant of a secret. Wait, what was it? Was it secret? Let me just before I go any further, I just want to put this blade in this man's hand. Here, I just think it would tie him together if I can just get it. If you just hold it for me, Azrael, please. If you just hold it for me. Okay, cool. Now, as I said, my apologies, folks. Steering off track here. Sorry about that. Like I said, just the blade in this man's hand just looks awesome. I'll give you guys a look at him since I'm doing that. Might as well, right? That way, it ties the whole outfit together. Now you can see this. The sheer size of this thing is ridiculous. I do believe this is the 6-inch figure. And, of course, as you can see, it's got his standard rocking the patented red that he always did. There have been many forms of him, many costumes that he has worn, but this one in particular comes straight out of the comic book, which, of course, if I remember, was The Curse of the White Knight. Ironically, he is not a white knight. So, Willow Pierce. Hello, Willow. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining us. Is that the symbol of the same? No, okay. But yes, back to what I was saying before. I was just right there. He is, as I said, it was later revealed to him that he was actually a descendant of a long line of assassins created by a secret of corrupt Templars who basically call themselves the Sacred Order of Dumas. Now, in which whenever Azrael here was actually recruited by them, he would actually serve as their ultimate weapon, or the Angel of Death. However, even though he was basically trained, programmed, and basically shown the way of what needed to be done by the Order of Dumas, since birth, he was basically, as I said, trained to be their Angel of Death, their greatest assassin, and their greatest weapon. However, he was actually given the chance to become a hero, and of course, thanks to the Batman, in which, in doing so, by training him, he became, instead of the Agent of Death, the Agent of the Batman. Now, ironically, that actually helped him to realize the fact that what he was doing was wrong, and at one point, there was when he actually joined up with a few crew members of the Justice League, and the only one that I can remember for the life of me was actually the Green Lantern, Jessica Cruz. But that's best served for another time, just, But a few more history lessons about Mr. Azrael here. There are certain abilities that he does possess. Ironically, even though he was human, he was actually spliced and genetically engineered with animal DNA, because that is basically how he captures sort of a need or a feel or a bloodlust, if you will, in order to get what needs to be done, in order to do what's necessary, to show no remorse, no fear, to only show no mercy. He's actually an expertly trained martial artist. I'm not going to say better than the Batman, but he was trained by Batman. I know that. He has enhanced speed, agility, and strength. He is an expert swordsman, if you will. He does, the suit that he's rocking right now is actually an AI suit that actually gives him more durability and better insight, if you will. And I know I already passed it up, and I know you guys already saw the sword, but like these gauntlets that he's got rocking right here, he actually hides a pair of swords or daggers, if you will, that actually extend out. That's only worst case scenario when he either loses his blade or his sword, and in doing so, this way he stays armed and ready to fight. And some fun facts about this gentleman, it's that, as I said, he wasn't the only Azrael to be chosen by the Order of Saint Dumas. I do know that there was another one. His name was uh, Michael Washington Lane. He was the second Azrael to pick up the mantle of the corrupt Templars, who basically carried on to do what needed to be necessary. But I do believe that he was also picked up by Batman and trained to be the better person. But I didn't get a chance to read too much into that. I do apologize if I spoiled anything. Have mercy on me, please, please. But he was also not only trained by Batman, but there was a reason that Batman was training him. Yes, it's true. He was training him to better defend himself and to be ready for anything. But ironically, he was actually training to pass on the mantle of the Batman to Azrael, as he saw him as a potential benefactor and protector once Batman was gone. Because one key thing that I read or even seen is the fact that in order to become Azrael or the Angel of Death, you have to be reborn in what was called the Lazarus Pit. Now, don't quote me on that, folks, because I know that there are many incarnations of Azrael, but being that I only read about 2 of them, I do believe that that's how it all went. But as I said, don't quote me on that, please, because I know it's probably not 100%, but I mean, most of the time, I just try to get as much accurate information as possible. Oh, man, I need a drink now. Yes. Okay. So, I'm going to go ahead and put Mr. Azrael right over there. Thank you very much. Just chill right there for me. Just, hey, hold that sword, you know? Well, I mean, given your body size, you can hold it with one hand, I guess, you know? I'm not saying you're making all the rest of us look bad. Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, the trading card here. The box right there. That way it's all good. Okay, so get the next one ready. Thank you. Oh, sorry. Okay. Next up, we're gonna go ahead and switch gears. Now, as I said, the first one was in DC, so now we're gonna head into the world of my childhood memories. As today, we're going to be introducing an extremely powerful spellcaster, who can really obliterate the competition, leaving nothing behind but basically a pile of ash. Don't worry, he's not going to harm any of you. He's here just to show off and be recognized for who he is. However, I mean, if you're a dragon with blue eyes, I feel extremely sorry for you. Because, ladies and gents, please help me welcome and to behold the power of Exodia, the Forbidden One. That's right, folks. The massively powerful Exodia, the Forbidden One. Now, the only reason I say massive is because this, however, is one of my biggest Funkos that I have come into contact with, as it is just a huge one. If I can just get him out of the box. Yes, come to me, Exodia. Woo, and just the sheer weight of this thing. Yes. Wow, he is massive. Woo. Now, don't be alarmed, folks. As I said, he's only here for y'all to show off, unless you're a blue-eyes white dragon, in which, of course, he will obliterate. Now, as I said, this thing is just massive. Like I said, I hold him up to my head right here. Look at that. Any kind of normal Funko that I get the size is probably about right here, but it's just ridiculous. The sheer size and detail of this guy is amazing. I ain't gonna lie. But his head moves too. That is beautiful. As you can see, rocking the patented pharaoh look of his, of course. You know, that lovely smile he's got rocking on. The piercing red eyes as he stares into my soul. Oh, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. But yeah, a little info about this gentleman here. Stop. No, Exodia, stand up for me. Stand up for me, please. Please? Will you please stand up for me? Please stand up for me. Thank you. This badass blaster here, he was first released in the Legend of the Blue Eyes White Dragon episode, of course, of the popular kids TV show Yu-Gi-Oh. Now, what Yu-Gi-Oh was all about, it basically revolves around a card game. Two people going head to head. Sometimes it can be 2-on-2, team-based, tag teaming, if you will. Two players will start out with a limited number of life points, correct? Now, in the beginning, it started out with just the cards themselves. However, when one of the main character, Yugi Moto, his rival Seto Kaiba stepped up, he was actually able to basically use his company's computer technology to bring the creatures inside the cards to life. However, they're only acting as holograms. But I don't want to get too much into the story. I do apologize if I spoil anything for those of you guys who have not seen it. But as I said, it is one of my favorite childhood shows. I mean, I'm happy to say I got into the world of Yu-Gi-Oh! At a young age. I mean, I did duel a few times. I ain't gonna lie. I'm happy to say I won a lot of them. I can't really say how many I won, but then again, I can't really say how many I lost because I can think about it, talk about it for days, and reminisce. But we're not here for that. I mean, we are, but at the same time, we're here for this guy. We're here for Exodia. But yeah. Now, while it's true, I still have yet to obtain this, this Titan, this legendary Titan of the cards to, just to have the cards to say that I have him in my possession. It's not to say that I won't keep hunting them, but this guy here, he's going to be joining the team without any kind of special summons or sacrificing any monsters. He's here in full body form so that everybody can see what he looks like. Now, at first, Exodia was just basically a beast, if you will, of such raw, destructive power and intimidating might that he was actually split into 5 distinctive type parts, and each one was actually chained and sealed away by the magic from all the other monsters and dual monsters. And which, of course, there's a reason why they did that, because doing so, which is why he's called the Forbidden One, because if it wasn't for the fact that he is one of the most powerful monsters in dual monsters. I mean, he's even stronger than the Egyptian god cards. I mean, most people say it's a 50-50 thing when it comes to that, but I've always seen him as the most powerful monster in all of dual monsters. But I do know that other people have said that he is beatable. There are ways around him. There are ways around strategy. However, like in most cases, him being with his just destructive capabilities, his special needs to be summoned is still one of the most feared things in all the card game. And honestly, anybody could tell you that. But summoning him is not necessarily difficult, if you will, but there is a specific way of doing it, or even a certain way of doing it. In order to summon him, it's not easy, as I said. Being that there are 5 distinct forbidden cards. Now, the only reason I say that they're forbidden is because every time you would look at him or even see that one of his cards was coming up, it would say left arm of the Forbidden One, right leg of the Forbidden One. It's the fact that each card symbolizes a part of him. Now, in order to regain his full power, all 5 pieces have to be assembled in the card holder's hand. Now, in doing so, if you can assemble all 5 pieces, it allows him to break free. And with him being so extremely powerful, this actually guarantees the player of the or the owner or the card holder of the Exodia an automatic win, regardless of situations, like how many monsters the opponent has on the field, how many life points that other person has. Anytime Exodia gets onto the field with all 5 pieces, bam, automatic win, and that's it, you're done. Because he's just extremely powerful. He's, like I said, one of the most feared creatures in all dual monsters. Now, his backstory and pharaoh-like appearance, if you will, is actually seen to be referencing to a famous Egyptian god known as Osiris. And there was actually some interesting facts about this gentleman here, which of course I'll tell you guys right now. But before I do, I would very much like to show you guys just a 360 of him real quick. You know, get a good look at his, as I said, pharaoh-like appearance, if you will. Just don't look into his eyes. He'll steal your soul. And you can see that beautiful little smile he's got going on. No? You don't like the smile? Okay. Of course, the chains. That, of course, I believe symbolizing, because as I said, left arm of the Forbidden One, right leg of the Forbidden One, each of these particular pieces were sealed and chained. And of course, what I love about that is the fact that they got the color scheme right down to the character. And I remember the first time that I saw this guy at a young age, and I just sat there, just mainly due to the fact that in the first episode, it seemed as all hope was lost, and when Yugi had pulled just a miracle move, and he just, as I said, obliterated the competition just out of nowhere. That was just wow. You know, that was one of the many childhood memories that I lived for, and I'll never forget that, honestly. Oh boy. Oh. But as I said, some interesting facts about this gentleman here. His name is actually Greek for another meaning, which the Greek word exodosis, and ironically that means extermination. I know, ironic, right? Because Forbidden One, Exodia. And of course, as I said and I mentioned repeatedly, he is the strongest of all the Egyptian god cards. That, of course, includes Obelisk, the Tormentor, Slifer, the Sky Dragon, and even the Winged Dragon of Ra. And there's an actual little fun fact that I found out about him. In Japan, he's actually called the Sealed One instead of the Forbidden One, mainly because there have been there's two different depictions of him when it comes down to the North American version and, of course, the Japanese version. Like if you look at the head of Exodia or the head of the Forbidden One, you'll notice in the background, this little circle, the green circle, is actually the spellbinding circle. And whereas in the Japanese version, it's actually a pentagram. Now, honestly, I didn't know that until I read about it, and I was like, mind blown, because that was just crazy. But yeah. Now, I was going to end it right here, but I do know, I told you guys there's a small little announcement, and I'm going to let you guys know right now. Just 1 minute. What did I do? Because, as you guys know, there was a new game that did drop today, and I'm happy to say that I did procure and pick it up. And I will be playing it sometime this weekend, probably tomorrow. I can't really say I'm going to play it tonight because I haven't started the download. And I'm probably, if I leave it downloading overnight, it'll probably be done. But it is known as the Ghost of Tsushima. That's right, folks. I'm happy to say that I've gotten this one. I've watched gameplay of it, and just it looks amazing. It's only because me being a big samurai type guy, I mean, I read a lot about that stuff. You know, ancient Japanese warriors and techniques they used, and their culture and everything. It's astounding, and it just blows me away every time when I learn about what these guys went through, what they do to ensure what they believe is honorable and what's not honorable. Now, I am, granted, some of it confused me because I don't really agree with some of the tactics, you know, the whole seppuku thing. But, you know, I read more into it, and then I remember that's respect to them because I understand where they're coming from and why they're doing it. But some history about this game here, or even a little teaser. In the late 13th century, a ruthless Mongol army invades Tsushima in a quest to conquer all of Japan. But for Jin Sakai, one of the last surviving samurai defenders, the battle has just begun. Set aside samurai tradition, forge a new path, the path of the ghost, as you wage an unconventional war for the freedom of Japan. In this game, you can explore ancient Japan in a vast open world adventure, set aside samurai tradition, you can become a new kind of warrior, and of course, master one of my favorite weapons, which of course is the katana. And you can develop stealth tactics, if you will. I can't wait to break it in. It looks awesome. But I am going to try to play it tomorrow. Just make sure that you keep an eye on my Instagram, because I'm going to be letting you guys know when I go live on my Twitch channel, and I do hope that you guys will be looking forward to it. But as I said, I'm going to go ahead and cut the stream here. I do hope that you enjoyed the series tonight, and I do hope that you look forward to next week's episode, because it's going to be awesome as ever. But if you like, feel free to follow button when it is posted right there. Feel free to sample in, of course, one of this video here or this video here. And until next time, guys, stay safe, stay awesome, stay weird, lávese las manos, por favor, and be zen, huh? Peace.